What you just saw was Huawei FreeClip 2's wide controls feature, and according to Huawei, it sold over 80,000 units in the first hour of launch. Hey friends, welcome back. This is Jessie here, and so the FreeClip series has kind of been a heartbreak of everyone who waited too long. From 2023 till now, there is still no real dupe. People kept waiting for a discount, but guess what? The FreeClip 2 is already out and the price hasn't budged. When it comes to ear clip style earbuds, if you ask me which one I'd recommend, I'd only say the only thing that can beat Huawei is Huawei itself. So in this video, we're gonna do a full comparison between FreeClip 1 and 2, see exactly what upgraded, and then test how it stacks up against competitors in the same price range, especially the Shokz OpenDots 1. Let's find out which one actually was your money. And hey, if this video helps you out, drop a good one Jessie in the comment so I know you'll enjoy it. The second generation case is noticeably smaller, and this time it's wrapped in a Danny textured finish. Grippy, stain resistant, and pretty durable too. But honestly, the boxy shape feels a little awkward to me. I kinda miss the smooth eggshell design from the first generation. It just looks cuter. If they could combine that egg shape with the Danny texture next time, that would be very nice. The charging case have also been completely redesigned, which shows Huawei's really trying to push something new for clip-style earbuds. Putting them on is super easy. Just grab one like this and clip it on with one hand. But take it off. Yeah, I'd say 90% of people would be confused the first time they try to put them back in the case. One side always ends up flipped the wrong way. It's actually a bit more troublesome than the first generation. So yeah, it feels like they sacrifice ease of use just to save some questionable amount of space. Not sure what the point was there. The separate on the FreeClip 2 is made of skin-friendly liquid silicone. It's got that soft, bouncy, and memory metal feel. Definitely softer and squishier than the first generation. But does that automatically means it's more comfortable? Not necessarily. Usually, what causes discomfort with clip-style earbuds isn't the bridge itself. It's about the sound unit and the clamping force. The first generation was already pretty comfy, but this time Huawei also made the rear chamber smaller and to reduce the presence behind your ear. On paper, it should feel better. From my own experience, when I first put them on, the first generation actually fit perfectly along my ear curve. No weird pressure, super natural. So at first, I thought the first generation was more comfortable. But after about 30 minutes, that heavier back chamber from the first generation started to pull down slightly, making the front part press into my ear a bit. It's subtle, but you do feel it after a while. With generation 2, that issue's pretty much soft. It stays balanced and light the whole time. That said, comfort still really depends on your ear shape. I'd suggest after putting them on, try nudging them up just a little. That helps the sound unit sit without pressing on your ear. And if it feels too tight, gently bend the C-bridge to loosen it up. Under the default sound, the FreeClip 2 sounds noticeably more powerful and lively. There is a clear boost around all frequencies. The soundstage feels way wider, and most importantly, it finally fixed that empty feeling that most open-ear earbuds have. The imaging is sharp and precise, so you don't get that weird sense that the sound floating outside your ears. Honestly, this is exactly what I talked about in my August and September earbuds roundup. The endgame for open-ear designs is to make them feel almost like semi-in-ear earbuds. And right now, Huawei's driver sits the closest to your ear among all the clip-style models I've tried. On the first generation, the soundstage was wider horizontally, but not vertically, so the audio feels spread across the side of your head. The bass was open and atmospheric, which gave it a cozy, chill vibe, but vocals were a bit dark, and the highs, especially the instruments, lean leans towards the Huawei's usual bass-heavy tuning. With the second generation, the bass goes noticeably deeper, and the vertical soundstage opens up, and the sound feels fuller and more solid overall. In complex ACG or instrumental tracks, you can clearly hear better separation, like cymbal hits and lasered instruments come through more clearly. So yeah, the Huawei's new driver tech isn't just marketing fluff. Vocals also have more punch now. Compared to the first generation, they sit closer and feel less veiled, so you can really feel the singer's emotion. But the trade-off is that this brighter tuning introduces a bit of edge, some slightly harshness on the upper end. You'll especially notice it in violins or high-pitched strings. They're brighter and sharper than before. Overall, the FreeClip 2 sound is a solid step up, especially in instrumental clarity and imaging. It's great for rock, metal, or anything with strong lasering. If you listen to both versions side by side, Generation 1 will sound softer and easier on the ears. But once you get used to the brighter tone of the Generation 2, the extra detail and definition really stand out. Also, the FreeClip 2 has a higher sound pressure level, which basically means it plays louder at the same volume setting. Actually, it sounds good, but once you push the volume past around 87%, the driver starts to hit their limit and you'll hear a tiny bit of distortion. But it's not a big deal. No one's really blasting open-ear earbuds that loud anyway. Now, since this is an open-ear design, the whole idea is that all day wear. The FreeClip 2 gives you up to 9 hours of playback per earbuds, which basically means even if you forget the charging case when you leave for work, you still have battery left when you get home. But in real use, if you play music non-stop, it's more like 7 hours, and with a fully charged case, you could honestly binge-watch all 4 seasons of Friends without running out of the juice. Call quality is another strong point for Huawei. I tested in 3 different conditions: in a quiet room, with windy noise, and even in the subway. You can check out those recordings at the end of this video. Now for the controls, the touch response is a little slow. There is about a 1-second delay after you tap before it reacts. And then there is these wide control features. I mean, I don't fully get the logic, but it's kind of wide. You can tap almost anywhere around your ear to trigger it. But honestly, instead of smacking myself in the face, I'd rather just find the earbuds and tap it directly. Way faster. And one more downside, the FreeClip ecosystem isn't as open as Huawei's newer devices like the 7i. The features like spatial audio and some of those fancy Huawei exclusive techs only work if you are using a harmonious OS. So at the same price point, well, almost the same. When I tested the Huawei, it was $199. But by the time I just to editing this video, it jumped to $229. Time really is money, right? Anyway, let's compare it with the Shokz OpenDots 1 and see which one is actually worth your cash. Comfort-wise, the Shokz Bridge looks bulkier, but it's super soft and skin-friendly. It doesn't clamp tightly at all. I think it's very nice. However, because of its angle, the sound unit slightly hooks backward, and after a while, you'll start feeling pressure on your ear. So yeah, if we talk about the comfort, Huawei wins the round. And for sound-wise, the OpenDot 1 has a smoother, more balanced tuning. The bass isn't boosted much, so it doesn't feel as punchy or full. If you play bass-heavy tracks, you'll notice that it lacks that dynamic impact. This also makes the soundstage feel a bit smaller compared to the FreeClip 2. But that neutral tuning really helps vocals sound more neutral and consistent, especially on simpler tracks without too much lasering. Now, honestly, I used to think, are these earbuds really worth that kind of money? Like, with prices going up every year, am I actually getting a better experience? But after doing deeper reviews over time, I've realized that once you filter out all the overhyped stuff, there are some products that truly deliver, that go all in on real user experience. For example, brands like Roselsa, the ones I've mentioned before, they don't just sound better than other earbuds in their price range, and they also give you that sense of value. And now with Huawei FreeClip 2, even though the first generation is still selling super well, Huawei still went ahead and made something better, and honestly, I love that. I love seeing brands push for improvements instead of just cash in. So here's my take. If you like a bright, detailed sound and you're using Harmony OS, the FreeClip 2 is a fantastic choice. If you prefer a smoother, more balanced sound, go with the Shokz OpenDots 1. And if you are choosing the best value, stay tuned. I'm planning a full lineup comparison of every clip-style earbuds across all price range. So make sure to subscribe and turn on the notifications so you don't miss it. And that's it for today's video. Thanks for sticking with me. If you found this helpful, drop a Guanjie in the comment to show your love. And your likes are the biggest way to cheer me up. And if there is any PBS you want me to compare, leave a comment or join my Discord. I also post my testing results here, so hope to see you there. See you in the next video. Guanjie. Hot sale! Black Friday is coming. They are ready to drain your wallet over again. Hello guys, this is the call test of the Huawei FreeClip 2. In the quiet room, how do you feel the sound? Is it clear? And this is the call test of the Huawei FreeClip 2 in the wind noise. How do you feel the sound? Is it clear? Hello guys, this is the call quality of the Huawei FreeClip 2 in the subway. And how do you feel the sound? Is it clear? And can you find out it's me?